Hey everybody, Phil Rivers here, and we should be live. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube here. Nope, not yet.
It says waiting for Phil.
Yeah, it's usually a couple seconds behind. But I'll go through the panel that I do have here with me. I have Josh, if you want to introduce yourself. People don't know you.
Oh, are we live now?
Yeah, we should be live, yes.
Okay. It's not showing up on the.
Yeah, it's live.
Oh, okay. What's going on, guys? Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the chat. Oh, there we go. What's going on, everybody?
It's Josh Benware from the Josh Benware channel. And it's still not loading on my freaking computer. Come on.
Yeah, mine just popped up. We got BEM, BEM Tactical, Vanessa Kitty, Big Al, JH586, Daniel God is my judge, Eddie B, Robin Jones.
Well, thanks for seeing that for me, because like I said, it's still showing me nothing right now. I can't
You,
get the
you got
side
if
chat
you
up.
take it down and then repop it back up, like redo it.
There we go. There we go. Now I can see the side chat. Thank you, Robin Jones. Daniel God is my judge. Daniel, if you want to judge, I think I have your email. If you want a link, let me know. JH586. So anyway, tonight there's not going to be any foreign and domestic because Scotsman's busy. Eddie B, how you doing? So I figured I'd jump on and do a chat. I got a couple topics to talk about, and I'm going to start with the first one, which I think most of you know. Chico Wise, how you doing? If you want a link, let me know. But most of you heard about a shooting yesterday in Pittsburgh. It was in the Squirrel Hill district, which is a neighborhood in Pittsburgh. Uh, that kind of hit close to home for me. Some nutcase went in and started shooting up a Jewish synagogue, which was they were doing a baby naming ceremony, and he opened fire and killed 11 people, injured another 6, and I'm just afraid of the repercussions that it's going to have as far as people wanting to establish more and new gun laws in this state. So, I mean, I just think the guy is just an evil person, and it's the person behind the gun, not the gun itself. So, I just feel bad for everybody that lost somebody there, and my prayers and thoughts went out to them. And I just can't believe that happened so close to home. And it was actually so bad that uh, my wife always thought I was crazy for carrying a gun into church, but she didn't want to go to church today unless I was going, because I was going to a Halloween party last night and wanted to make sure I was going to be home in time to get up in the morning and go to church. And I did my normal routine and carried my gun in with me. And so she didn't want to go unless I was going. And that just speaks volumes for the state of the country right now. Yeah, you can't even be safe in a house of worship.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that one happen in San Antonio, close to San Antonio, right? Pretty close to where I live. That one church shooting where those guys went in with the two
Yeah,
guys next door came with the AR and actually took care of that guy.
right.
Of course, they didn't make too much of news out of that about them stopping the shooter, but they never do.
No, they don't.
I'm not because I haven't been home all day, so I haven't seen any details on the shooting? How was this guy stopped, or was he shot? Did the police stop him, or what
Uh,
happened?
the,
How
the
did it
SWAT
end?
the SWAT team came in. The police were there. SWAT team, state police, city Pittsburgh police. I don't know who stopped him, but he was injured apparently during the exchange. But he did shoot. I want to say one or two SWAT team members and one or two other additional policemen. And he was stopped. He was in the hospital, but they haven't really covered that much about him, which I kind of thankful for that because the guy's a lunatic and shouldn't get any coverage at all. But they did put his
Yeah,
name out there and stuff.
yeah.
Chico, I can't seem to find your address for your email. Let's see. But yeah, he was stopped by the police, and it goes back to you know the good guy with a gun stops a bad guy. So,
Yeah. Do you happen to know what I mean, or did they even say what the shooter used for a
no,
firearm?
they did not. I think they were speculating in a assault weapon, assault rifle.
Uh,
So not sure what that means, but probably something like an AR. And so I mean, like I said, it always scares me when stuff like that happens because they uh, they always want to come for our gun rights. Sorry, I'm trying to check for Chico's email here if I can find it.
yeah, I was just reading the side chat. I was just reading what everybody's saying because I'm not really informed on all this. Oh, Chico said he'll be home in 10 minutes. ChicoWise@gmail.com.
Okay, cool. I'll forward him a link. Like I said, I'm not going to be here too long tonight. This is just a kind of an impromptu chat, but I did have some stuff I wanted to talk about, and that's one of the subjects. So I sent that out. Whoa, side chat's blowing up.
Yeah.
We got Big Johnson in the house. How you doing? Jesse B. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Alan said it's all good for the chat, so that's good. Didn't want to step on anybody's toes tonight.
Is Alan going to jump in or what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know if he's home, but he did reply to the email. So I just glad that I'm not stepping on anybody's toes here tonight. Like I said, I
Yeah, I don't
know there
think.
wasn't going to be a foreign and domestic. So, but I figured we'll do a little bit of a chat anyway. The on a more of a Jet 001's in Keith Gregory. On a better note, though, I went to a local gun shop today, and I actually called 3 gun shops before I found one that had a CZ in stock, and the third one had one in stock, and it happened to be the one I was looking for. It was a CZ P07. So I drove noon and got to hold it in my hands, check the trigger, and check the double action, single action trigger pulls on it. I like it, and I'll probably ask for gift cards for Christmas and birthday, and hopefully by February or so I'll have a new CZ in my hands. But that's just something to look forward to, I guess. So I really liked it.
Is
It's about the size of a Glock 19,
Oh,
It's a
okay.
little thinner in the grip, and I like it because um, I got smaller hands, and the Glocks are always a little big on me. And the CZ is nice. I mean, I can manipulate the controls pretty well. Now, I will have to get used to something that's a hammer fire instead of a striker fire, because that's basically what I have is striker fire guns. I don't have any hammer fire, so but I think it'll be nice.
Yeah.
So
Are you gonna do that short trigger reset thing upgrade?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it, so
Okay. Well, because I noticed I'm not sure about the CZ hammer fired guns. I haven't messed with too many of them. I know on the SIG P229 that I had, when it after the double action pull, when it went to single action, you would let the slack off, and then you would have to when you reset it, you'd still have to pull a little bit of slack out before it fired the next shot again. So they had what you call, I guess, a short trigger reset. I think it's called short trigger reset, and it's like a type of a, I guess, not really a trigger job, but it just makes it to where whenever you reset it, it's right there ready for the next pull. Rather than having to pull slack out on the single action pull.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably something after I shoot it and see how it reacts and what the single action pull is and the reset is. It'll probably be better to know if I want to do some kind of upgrade or not.
Yeah.
But sorry, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, the PO7. Yes, it was nice. Shadow 2 is nicer though. Yeah, yeah. I think the Shadow 2 is a little more expensive too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, definitely the P7, PO7 Omega Big Johnson's talking about. Pretty good out of the box. Yeah, he doesn't mess with the PO7s or the PO9s. Just in time prepping. How you doing? Yeah, the like I said, it felt good in the hand, and the there was a little bit of slack on the single action I noticed, but that's something I can deal with, I think. And unfortunately, it was a brand new gun, so that I couldn't rent it to shoot it because if the used guns there, you can rent them and shoot them. So I couldn't rent it to shoot it, which I'd really love to shoot one before I bought one, but it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
I've done that before where I mean I go in, I check it out and feel it and buy the gun anyway. So but
So I'm
yeah,
new to the whole CZ thing.
me
The
too.
PO7, is that polymer
Um,
is
I
or is it aluminum or?
I think it's aluminum because it's definitely heavier than the 19. Maybe Big Johnson could answer that for us. He has one. Uh, yeah, the PO7. Big Al saying the PO7 the great carry gun. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to get it for a carry gun because right now I carry the Glock 26 a lot, and the oh Jesse B says it's polymer.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
think
can't
the
remember because
I think the only one that I know of that's metal is like the CZ75. I
75.
think
Yeah,
I think I think I don't know. I'm not an expert on CZs at all.
me neither.
I mean, I'm on my first one right now, so
Yep, me too.
all I know is striker fired for the most part. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But it
alloy. Big Johnson says PO1 is alloy.
PO1. Yeah,
PO7 is light and polymer. Okay.
yeah. I thought it felt heavier than the Glock 19 I was holding at the same time. They had a Glock 19 there, and I compared it to size and weight, and it seemed a little heavier than the Glock. But that's not a deal breaker for me. I think that's acceptable. It's about the same size, but like I said, the grip size to me seemed thinner, which I like because the 17 and the well even the 26 is a little bigger, a little fatter than I like. So, Dan, you do have a link I sent you, I believe. So if you want to jump in.
Yeah, Daniel said that he's gonna. I think he's tired, or he's tired. He's gonna
Oh,
watch
he's
till he
gonna be
crashes out or something like that. I
okay.
saw it earlier in the chat.
Yeah, he's probably getting up early to go hunting or something tomorrow.
There's Midas.
Midas.
We gotta bring him in here.
Oh, he'll get
Woo!
crazy. Yeah, he'll get crazy on us. But yeah, I don't know if how many viewers out there right now watch the Patriot Nurse, but she was talking about the anti-Semitism and the shooting that happened in Pittsburgh. I didn't know whether anybody else watched that or had any thoughts on that. Oh, Daniel's got work. Yeah, yeah. I got. Oh, that's not bad. Selling guns. 8 hour or 11 hours of it though. That's pretty rough. Yeah, I do have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to get to
So,
work, but
this guy, this shooter. I mean, I know we don't know much about, or I mean, I know nothing about it, but was he Christian, Muslim, or
I don't know. They didn't say anything about that. He seemed like a, a mid 30s to 40ish white guy from the picture I saw on the TV. So, but he wasn't like a skinhead or anything that from the picture. But he definitely, from what I heard, he yelled out that all Jews must die and kill the Jews or something like that. So yeah, he
that's
was definitely
crazy.
nuts. So, but he was definitely one of the nut jobs out there and an evil person. And that's the thing. It's sad state of affairs for this country when you got to worry about going to church or house of worship, and you have to worry about someone coming in and shooting you.
What's going on, Chico Wise?
Good, brother. How y'all doing, man? Thanks
Hey,
for
Chico.
Phil. Thanks for the invite, brother. That's
Oh, no
awesome.
problem.
I really appreciate it.
Glad to have you.
Glad to
Yeah.
be on here always.
Did you hear anything about the shooting down there?
Yeah, I did, and me as a gun owner, I always have concerns when it's mass shootings, because I feel like certain shootings threatens our rights, as far as Americans and Second Amendment people. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of the verbiage that they put out. It's always unfortunate when a shooting happens, in my opinion, but the verbiage that sometimes the media put out, regardless if what happens for a certain individual, it looked pretty bad. Yeah, it definitely looked pretty bad, and then
Yeah.
I've kind of when I seen it, I was just like, oh, So I just found out about it this morning, and I believe it happened yesterday.
Right.
So
Yeah, it was yesterday morning, at 9:50 or 10 o'clock or so,
yeah, it's
and
unfortunate that you can't go places and just like you said in a place of worship.
yeah,
So that is very unfortunate, but yeah, that's pretty bad. I think it was 7 to 8 fatalities. So
well, it's up to 11 now, and
yeah,
for me
that's
it was on the local news, so that's what they covered all day yesterday.
yeah, it's definitely terrible. And I think that goes back to a lot of the before we were talking about soft targets.
Yeah, exactly,
Hashtag guard your school, protect every child. It may be a hashtag guard every church soon.
exactly.
Um, that's definitely I have concerns. Definitely have concerns for someone with a sick, twisted mind, whatever what was in their mind. The verbiage that the suspect used, is it raises concern not just for me, but probably for some other people. So yeah, it's definitely wild. Give you something to think about, and it goes back again to the elections coming up, like who do you want to select in office, kind of as far as like protecting our rights with certain stuff. So I heard some police officers got injured also. I think they kind of had a
Yeah,
shootout with the guy.
yeah. There was 4 policemen injured. I don't know how many were SWAT and how many were regular police, but I heard like maybe 2 SWAT team members and then a couple regular police got shot.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for anyone.
Yeah, especially our first responders. And I mean, they're going in to take care of the job, and it's unfortunate they get shot. But the victims inside the church had, or the synagogue had, no recourse. I mean, they weren't armed. They wouldn't have any kind of body armor. They're just sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Insight, I need an email from you, buddy. I can't seem to find your email.
Well, for this guy to get some shots on SWAT officers, he must have known what the hell he was doing, because those guys, I mean, you talk about trained. SWAT officers are trained. I mean, they are trained.
Right.
Right.
For him to get some shots on them too, I mean, he must have known what the hell he was doing. But I mean, me, I, I hate anti-Semitism. Oh, I hate anybody. I hate any kind of racism or anything like that. Any picking on, to me, that shit should have been left back. From that. That's ancient stuff. We should be well past that. I mean, well past that. And but especially, I mean, the Jews, to me, that they hold a special place in my heart, just because, reading through the Old Testament and everything, you're reading the whole story of the Jews and their whole history and everything. It just, when you do that, it just, you realize where they came from, everything they went through, all the crap they went through and paved the way. It's just like, I can't understand people's hatred, why some people have hatred for them. I don't understand it, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe they don't know their story. Maybe they're just ignorant. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah,
But
I
have,
don't get that either, because I mean, the Jews have been persecuted forever, as far as I can see. And um, to me, as a Christian, I feel that the Jews and the Christians need to unite and get rid of this evil that they're facing with people like that. 'Cause that's all it is. It's just pure evil, and
Yeah.
they need to. We need to come together and stop idiots like this from doing things like that. And it's just it's just crazy, you know.
yeah. I used to wear I wore a cross, and then I'd wear a little Star of David, right up, like a shorter necklace with a Star of David on it, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're Jewish, you're Jewish," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm a Christian, so yeah, you can't be a Christian and not be Jewish,
Yeah,
basic for the most part. I mean,
you got a good point there.
it pretty much, that's the roots.
That goes hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Primal Outdoors Skills. How you doing? Bearded CB's out there. HNX Media. Michael. I'm gonna butcher that. Signs. I think it's Signs, if I remember correctly. Just trying to shout out the room here. See if Insight comes in for us here. I sent you a link here, Insight Freedom. But this, like I said, it's just an impromptu chat, and the big thing for me was like I said, was the news in Pittsburgh, and like I said, it kind of hit close to home for me. It was local news for me. So
Yeah, I think that kind of even goes back to the what was it, North Carolina, South Carolina, when the last church shooting happened.
yeah,
And I was at a range, I don't know, a couple months ago, and a guy was telling me that it was a mega church. So the guy was telling me every so often this mega church will come in with only select members and they do training. And I was like, that's awesome. And he said, but they do training from situational training where like almost like they're in church. So he'll set up 15 chairs, almost like the pews, and they would do training for to be prepared, which makes sense because you still think, hey, I'm going to church. Shouldn't nothing happen like this? But I live by the fact that I would prefer to be prepared than to be not prepared. So
Yeah.
And some churches I go to, whether I go to a wedding or a funeral, at the door, a lot of them will say no weapons permitted, and it kind of it causes me to stop from going in. So whether I go to a wedding or a funeral, at the door, a lot of them will say no. Hey, brother, Insight.
Insight Freedom, how you doing?
I don't think he has his earplugs in yet.
All right.
You there, Scott?
Yeah, I don't think
I think he usually uses the earbuds.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. I haven't seen any churches yet that I've been into that say no weapons, so I'm fortunate with that. And my church actually encourages concealed carries, so I do that. And like I said, my wife was apprehensive about going to church without me, so.
Yeah, I heard you say that, which I was thinking. Yeah. I definitely understand that,
Yeah, because she knows I go to church. I carry a gun. Ever since that Carolina shooting in the church, I was like, wow. We go to a pretty big church. It's 1,500, 2,000 people there.
That's a lot of people.
We I carry, and this weekend I got paperwork to fill out for their security team. I feel like that's kind of my calling.
One of the churches. I don't think he.
What? I'm on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just forgot to mute the Google, the YouTube that was open, so I took some time to do that. Sorry.
No problem. Good to have you.
Well, just rolled in. Been texting with Jason, so I see he's out there too.
Yeah. Yeah. How you doing? Did you hear anything about this shooting incident?
Yeah, I've been on the road since Friday afternoon, and I heard bits and pieces of it. My wife kind of kept me up to date on things she was getting through her news feed. The last thing I did hear today at church was they said that one of the victims, and I typed this in, was actually a Holocaust survivor at the synagogue.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
The guy is captured. Is that correct?
Yes, he was injured apparently during the incident. It doesn't sound like he was too badly injured, but he was at one of the local hospitals and taken into custody at the time of the incident, because they gave an all clear not too long after the incident happened.
I heard, just like I said, mostly that what I got updates at church today, and I've been on the road with my daughter all afternoon, and literally got her back here to church and to trunk or treat and stuff, and I haven't had a chance to catch too much on anything. I did hear about the mail bomb guy getting apprehended too, so those were two good bits of news right there.
Yeah, that one, I'm not sure what to think about the mail bomb thing. That's to me just seems too politically easy.
Yeah,
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, that one had all kinds of flags up with it for sure.
Yeah. This one here, this is just a nut job out of left field, I believe.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it happened at this time of year. And the speculation here is whether or not Governor Wolf will use this before or after the election, because he's predicted to win he's ahead in the polls by like 12 or 13%, I believe. So whether he'll use it after he's reelected in the governorship and use that to try and get some more gun control in Pennsylvania. But that's my concern.
Yeah, that's really when you live in Pennsylvania like you do, and you know you know, how many good people there are in Pennsylvania, and it starts to get to be one of those places run by the big urban centers, and all the politicians come out of Philly and some out of Pittsburgh and stuff. That's so hard when you start to see those California type tendencies starting to control things.
Yeah, because Pennsylvania has been called Pittsburgh and Philadelphia with Kentucky in the middle.
Yeah.
And it is kind of true because our zones just got redone this past election last year, and it seems like there's more blue sections now since Hillary lost in the election in 2016 that they wanted to redistrict things, and so now you got things redrawn, and if you do it by county, there would only be probably 5 or 6 liberal counties, but it's where the population is, and so they redistrict everything and try to make it easier for the liberals to win, I think.
Yep.
That's my opinion anyway.
Gerrymandering. It most frequently
definitely
works for their advantage.
Definitely. And you know, there was nobody stood up and said, hey, you know, this is wrong or anything. I tend to think the Republicans, even though they're more on our side, they kind of rolled over on that one, I think. Kind of irritating.
Yeah, the lack of vision that Republicans show in politics, you know, I don't know if it's the nice guy complex or what it is. The Democrats are just so masterful at playing political games, and the Republicans show over and over again that they get blindsided by stuff. Yeah. And, you know, it has to be just because of the power and the money and things that are involved in it. They don't care. They absolutely don't look like they care.
No, and the fact that on a national level, the Republicans don't seem to have the president's back kind of irritates me.
Yep.
It's like, you know, he's from your party. Whether or not you totally agree with him or not, you should have his back. But I guess that goes back to the fact that most of the politicians, in my opinion, are probably corrupt anyway.
Yep.
Did I miss anything political? Did anybody come out after the synagogue incident and start any of the gun control?
Well, the politicians didn't, but there was a vigil that night. Supposed to be a prayer vigil, and the people there were talking about more gun control laws. You know, control the guns. Instead of what I saw, I forget who it was on the side chat said, you know, you got to. Why do they come after the guns instead of going after the person?
Mm-hmm.
People that do these things, it's their fault, not the gun's fault.
I invite them to the range with me anytime. I'll show them some gun control.
Yeah.
They can come with my 10-year-old or my 12-year-old, and both of them will show them some gun control. So they're invited. It's an open invitation. I'll pay the fee to get them to the gun range with me.
Yeah. My gun control has always been, if there's a gun in the room, I want to be in control of it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and you know that goes to just like we've talked about plenty of chats where if you think about all our politicians and government officials are protected by guns. Their security team have guns.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So why take that away from uncrazy or logical American citizens, you know?
Right.
So I don't know what you guys' response time for if the police was called, but I think if someone was breaking into my home, longer than 30 seconds is too long. So I don't want to wait on the police to protect my family. That's why I'm a gun owner. That's why I believe my Second Amendment rights, and that's why I exercise them.
Yes, sir.
It's just crazy about how everyone's protected, government officials, politicians, and they say they scream gun control here and gun control this, but it's not the gun. It is the person behind the gun.
Right.
So I guess that could be argued many different ways.
Well, there's the age-old saying that it's about control. It's not about guns.
Yeah, that's true. It's about political control.
Yep.
Yeah.
And control of other people's lives. Because they'll still have their armed bodyguards, but we'll be without any way to protect ourselves.
All right.
That's what they want. Because an unarmed nation is easier to control than an armed nation.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Isn't
And
that
that's like a repeat of history. If you look in history, what person or country done that? If y'all look in history, I won't say it, but if you guys just look in history, even in the side chat, if y'all know what I'm talking about, if you just look into history think about when some citizens or people was disarmed, what happened? I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to go down that route.
And what's the response when you bring that up, Chico? It's always, "Oh, that could never happen here."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Conspiracy theorists. That could never
Right.
happen here.
Tinfoil hat. I'm like, whatever. So I try to keep that very minute because, a lot of people know me, but a lot of people don't. But, like I said, we've all got common or similar interests, and we kind of think the same. That's what makes the whole different demographics of our community unique and supportive of each other. But, yeah, when you start talking like that, people are like, I'm going to unsub him. I'm like, that's how I see it. So it just sucks. It definitely sucks. Like I said, it's unfortunate when anyone lose their lives behind some crazy person or deranged person that hates a particular demographic or race of people, because everyone's not like that,
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like you want to go after the law-abiding citizens for something some idiot does, and you're not going after the fact that he's the one responsible. The whole country has gone from the assumption that you're responsible for your own actions to it's somebody else's fault, and that's the whole problem with our country right now.
Correct. Yep.
Speaking of, I'm cleaning. I don't mean to look like a distraction, but I have a few things I'm cleaning. So the things that are important to me remain cleaned and ready.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, I got to get on that because we had a nice little weekend. So I definitely have to clean some of my weapons.
Yeah,
it did look like a good little get together.
We did, man. Yeah. We definitely got to get more. I like to be, to do that with other, like all you guys on the panel, even in the side chat, So
yeah,
that definitely what makes our community stronger, to meet people, because, like I said, we have a lot of similar interests and a lot of the same thinking and different opinions, which make us the community that we are.
Yeah, it's a good community.
Yeah, that was very cool, Chico. I appreciated that. That phone call was really nice last night. It was good to see all of you together like that.
Yeah, brother. No problem, man. I definitely enjoyed it. Given the unfortunate situation, what brought us together, you know what I mean? It's, I wish it would have been on the better terms, but, you kind of got to take advantage of the unfortunate situation because, a lot of people been talking about since we've lost two great men in our community. And just people in general, not necessarily our community, but they were a part of our community. They are a part of our community. But, if the Scotsman was that close, it's like, hey, man, we got to get together, brother. Because, you ever hear the saying, people's like, if you care about somebody or someone, you give them their flowers while they're here. So I didn't want to miss that opportunity to meet the Scotsman and, to enjoy some fellowship, some brothership. And it's like, instead of shaking people's hand, like we give hugs down here in the South. And
yes, sir.
South, you know what I mean? It's a handshake, like no handshake, man. It's all love here. So,
Yeah, you put that hand out, you grab it and grab them around the shoulders and give them a hug.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to see you guys get together. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure those guys got some videos that they're gonna upload that you guys are gonna enjoy, man. They'll probably give me some crap about, but it'll be a nice sight to see when they upload them. Um, so definitely, what we got 18 in the side chat.
yeah. Yeah, I know what Chico is talking about. The reason they got together, and I didn't want to bring it up too much. I just want to touch on it real quick.
Yeah,
But we did lose a great member of the community this past week, and I know he was my second subscriber that was visible on my subscriber list, and that's going back a few years here. And C-Max will be greatly missed by everybody in the community, especially anybody that knew him or uh, was commented on by their videos or commented on his videos. He was a great guy, and he will be missed. And I just pray for his family and pray that they can get through this troubling time.
Yeah, that was a big loss. Chris was a good guy. Um,
Yeah.
I was talking with Jason about this. He was one of the first ones to kind of ever reach out to me and answer questions that came out of these side chats or whatever, and offered advice and gave me some great answers to things, and that was nice to have somebody just do something like that. And it wasn't asked for. He was a doer. He did it.
Yeah.
He saw somebody had a question, was interested in something, he answered it. So
Yeah, he was instrumental in me getting actually involved in the YouTube community, and he was instrumental in getting the channel logo going, everything. He was instrumental in my starting to reach out in the community, and I thanked him for that. And I mean, it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But it's all side chat here. Bald and Curious, Scotsman's chat. Well, not really, but Scotsman's busy, so I figured I'd throw a chat up. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. But, yeah, C-Max was a great guy, and he always was willing to help somebody. If you had questions or concerns, he would answer them for you.
yeah, when my curiosity kind of started tweaking a little bit with the reloading stuff, he really gave me some good advice, and a lot of it was just I think the temptation is to go big, and he was like, just work your way into it, learn, kind of grow into it. And he offered me advice on the kind of equipment would be good to go with, and I trusted him on that. So I haven't jumped into it still, but I still remember and have notes about everything he ever told me. So
yeah. But it's about 10:20. I didn't want to go too late in the night. I just wanted to throw this out there and get some different opinions and different views on the shooting in Pittsburgh. Anybody else got anything to talk about? Throw it out there. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down here pretty soon. Yeah, Bald and Curious, C-Max and Ed are still in our hearts. I agree. They'll always be there. They always have a place in our hearts.
And those two are the kind of guys that leave lasting impressions. They make you think about what you do and who you are by the actions that they had, the things that they did, the way that they lived, that they had. They're just the kind of guys that really, they did.
Yeah. And anybody out there watching that doesn't know, there still are ways to help C-Max's and Ed's family. There's a shirt for Ed. You can go to the Crazy Scotsman's channel. I know he has stuff on that. And Milsurp Mike has stuff on both of them. He's giving away an SKS rifle for a raffle to help both C-Max and Ed's family. So if you don't know about that, go check them out. I don't have any links here for that. But if you go to Milsurp Mike's or the Crazy Scotsman's channels, you'll find stuff on that.
And those shirts are only available till November 4th, from what I understand, to help Ed's family. So if you are going to get a shirt, y'all should jump on it. Anybody who wants.
That's Frag Out Clothing, and you can go there. If you don't have a link right now, you can go to Frag Out Clothing and you type in Ed USAF, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, Josh. November 4th is the deadline, and like he said before, I believe the only thing he's donating all the money. The only thing he's taking back is the cost to print the shirt. So that's an awesome cause to help someone if you didn't know them, but to help with the family, because that's the last thing the family needs to worry about, money after they've lost a loved one. So yeah,
that's for sure. So, but I appreciate everybody on the panel, everybody in the side chat. If you want to do some outros here, I'll start with Josh. Let us know what you got going on.
I'm going to be, whenever I finish editing the video, I just finished up testing out that CZP-10C today. Ran 400 rounds through it in about an hour, and really got on it. It was actually burning me through my holster. So I got it nice and hot and warmed up and all that stuff. So I'm gonna probably do a little video on that. Put all those clips together from shooting it today, and then will be Judgment Day whenever I say what I pick between CZP-10C and the Glock 19, and that's what I got coming up next.
That kind of heated up rounds back into the Kydex is always good for that fine tuning and the shaping of the Kydex.
It is, because it's a Glock 19 holster, and and the thing is I've never drawn from it or anything. I've never put. I put the P10C in a couple of holsters just to make sure that they fit, and it fit okay. But in that NSR tactical holster, I put it in there and it would kind of click as it was going in. And I noticed that since it has the ambi slide release or slide stop, whatever you want to call it, the one on the right side that you would use if you're left-handed was hitting the holster. So I already took a lighter and melted the Kydex and molded it out to where it'd slide in. And and today whenever I went shooting and got that thing super hot, I think it probably molded the holster the rest of the way around the gun. So
it's perfect now.
Yeah.
Chico, you want to give us an outro?
Yes, sir. I definitely will. Yeah. The only thing I've got coming up, I've got a couple of videos I need to do for Josh's 2-gun Kami challenge. Someone tagged me in it. I know, but I don't want to say the name wrong because I got a lot of the notifications, but I think it was a David. David tagged me in it, so I've got to do that 2-gun Kami challenge, and that's pretty much it, man. Thanks for the invite, and I'll say to anyone that's in the side chat, you guys know elections are here, so once y'all get out and vote, because you can't complain if you don't vote.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
So thanks for having me, Phil. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Insight Freedom.
Yeah, the vote thing, I was going to lead in with that. You just got a week from Tuesday. If you can early vote, I always like voting on election day. I like taking my kids and going through the process. So, but whenever you can vote, vote. Vote early, vote on the day, but vote, because it's important. I've got probably some upcoming. I actually have this to do a little testing with, and It might have had a good bit run through it yesterday, but there's going to be some extensive testing. It's the 320X carry
Nice.
for ailing eyes. So going to see how we do with the RMR on a pistol, other than the 1020 or the 2245. That doesn't really count. I'm interested in seeing how I do with one actually mounted on the slide on a real gun. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm sure there'll be some content that'll come out of that. I'm looking forward to whatever else comes out of kind of the community rallying around Diane, because we'll have to add her and the girls into, you know, helping them through this. Obviously, the Scotsman has been on ground and kind of helping as much as he can there. And I'm sure some things are going to roll out of that. And again, the times like that are the times that have really impressed me about this community, how people rally. So I'm looking forward to that in the weeks to come and what comes out of that. So again, thanks for the link, Phil, and for the invite. I appreciate you letting me jump in here.
Oh, thanks for coming, guys. I really appreciate the panel. I appreciate everybody in the side chat. Just say thanks to everybody coming out. And I agree with everybody saying go out and vote. I got a week from Tuesday till I can vote. So we're one of the later states to vote for some reason always. So, but definitely thanks for everybody coming out and joining us. And keep Ed and C-Max's families in your prayers, as we lost a couple great men and their families are still dealing with that. So keep them in your prayers, and everybody stay strong till we meet again.